Razmanites, you got the Razman here for Geeky.com and YouTube. Title says it all for this one. I just want to quickly give my final thoughts on WrestleMania 28 before tomorrow. That's right, we are 24 hours away. Can you believe it? Finally. No pun intended in reference to The Rock. But yeah, just my final thoughts on WrestleMania today on the Razman's Reality. And for anybody that missed a couple of updates ago and doesn't know why there was no music in the show titles, it's because YouTube is being retarded lately and denying all my ad revenue sharing. They're saying I don't have the rights to distribute the royalty-free music anymore, so I'm waiting on an original theme song before I start using music again. Now, these are not predictions. For anybody that wants my predictions, you need to check out the archive version of the Razman's Reality radio show. If you missed that, it's available on iTunes and on Geeky.com. So for all of those links, you can either pay attention to the credits, or the easier thing to do is go and like Razman's Reality on Facebook, facebook.com/Razman's Reality. Link is always down below in the description box. You want to make sure you check out that special if you missed it, because that is where you're going to hear my predictions. What I'm going to talk about here in this episode is just my opinions on a couple of different topics, mainly the biggest controversy that arises every year for WrestleMania, and that is what match should open the show. Now, if that topic alone doesn't generate enough controversy, this will, what I'm about to say, because I've been giving this a really strong amount of thought. I've been stewing over this for a week and a half, and this is truly, honestly, my opinion on the subject. Whether you like it or not, this is my true opinion, and I do believe that I have valid facts to back it up. So before you bash it, make sure you listen to what I'm about to say and don't jump down my throat. I believe that the opening match of Mania should be Chris Jericho versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Now, I can already hear all of you, you're going to be like, Raz, you're insane. That's going to do nothing but devalue the WWE Championship. This match is supposed to be about who is the best in the world. Well, you just answered your own argument right there. This is why I feel like this match should lead off the pay-per-view. This match is supposed to be about who is the best in the world. And Chris Jericho's heel character perfectly fits the idea of, I know I'm better than CM Punk. I'm not waiting this whole night. CM Punk, get your butt out here now to be PG, because I have family watching these episodes. But CM Punk, get your butt out here now and let's do this. That's reason number one that I could see this happening, but the bigger, more important reason why I think this is going to happen, beyond a character standpoint, is the fact that you have 3 bona fide main events at this year's WrestleMania. This is the first WrestleMania in years, and I mean years, where you have matches that you can legitimately make the case should close the card, and there's more than one. You have Punk vs. Jericho, you have Taker vs. Triple H, and you have The Rock vs. Cena. Now, everybody knows that with a year build, The Rock vs. Cena is going to close Mania. There's no question about it. So, you still have the issue of you can't put Chris Jericho vs. CM Punk, Taker vs. Triple H, and Rock vs. Cena back to back to back on the card. If you do that, you're just going to be like out of breath. You're not going to be able to control yourself. You're just going to be like dead. They have to space out the momentum of this card. And this is why I say Chris Jericho versus CM Punk to kick off the pay-per-view. Because not only do you solve the issue of spacing out the main events, but you also give WrestleMania the one thing it's been missing since they took away Money in the Bank from the WrestleMania card. A match that gets you excited, gets you on the edge of your seat, and pumps you up right from the very beginning. That is what WrestleMania has missed for so many years now. Pyro, 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 America the Beautiful, boom. Right into it, on the edge of your seat action. You're not going to get that from Team Johnny versus Team Teddy. You're not going to get that from the freaking Divas match. You're not going to get that from Big Show and Cody. You're not going to get that from Randy Orton and Kane. No insult to them. The only other match, per se, that you could get that from is Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. But I don't think Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, as good as Daniel Bryan is, I don't think Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan is a good enough match to make people be like, oh my god, here we go. This pay-per-view is going to be amazing. So, that is my argument for this. Think of it what you will, but they've already broken the quote-unquote fifth wall last year. Granted, it was an entirely different circumstance because WWE was probably in a panic and they knew Edge's situation before we, the public, knew Edge's situation, and they're like, how are we going to take care of Edge so he doesn't really injure himself and gets himself to this matchup? Because we've already advertised it and it's too late to pull it because there would be such a public outcry. How can we get Edge through this match with Alberto Del Rio without killing himself? But because they had to do that, they've already broken that fifth wall, that stigma about you can't stick a championship match to begin the pay-per-view because it devalues the championship. And any other night, any other circumstance, I would completely agree that it does devalue the championship, and there's no way in heck that the WWE Championship match should kick off a pay-per-view. But for this night and this moment, I firmly believe it. And WWE, if you think about it, they did the same thing 2 months ago when we had Elimination Chamber. They looked at the matches on the card and they realized that the weaker of the two Elimination Chamber matchups was the world title match. And they wanted that match to have less controversy. So they kicked it off with a match that they knew was going to get people on the edge of their seats and get people talking. The WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. So, I'm saying that this match is going to happen first. Could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm not going to fuss over it, because I still do in some way believe that you shouldn't have a WWE Championship match kick off for WrestleMania. But instinctively, everything in me just screams this match first. The last thing I want to talk about is the Brock Lesnar rumor for WrestleMania 28. If that happens, it would be an amazing thing, and that would definitely justify a year build. But Brock Lesnar needs to not come out until after Hell in a Cell is finished. If Brock Lesnar shows up in a cell match, it will devalue the purpose of the cell, keeping everybody out. The conclusion needs to happen. Undertaker needs to remain undefeated. Then we see Brock Lesnar. F5, Triple H has a signal to Undertaker that this is what's going to happen next year. If Brock Lesnar doesn't happen, could we see Stone Cold Steve Austin get involved after CM Punk or Jericho? I could see that happening. And the only other possibility for a year build that I could see beyond Triple H and Shawn Michaels resulting out of what happens at Hell in a Cell, which I don't think should happen, is Cena versus Taker. Cena's celebrating after beating The Rock, if he beats The Rock, and all of a sudden the gong hits, Undertaker's in the ring, Undertaker slits his throat, and there's your 1 year build. Finally, John Cena going after the streak at WrestleMania. You let me know what you all think down in the comment box down below, and of course I will be back on Monday. In my situation, I can't do it as soon as the pay-per-view goes off the air, but I will be back on Monday with my WrestleMania 28 review. This is reality according to the Razman. And the Razman style is not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.